Greetings, Patrick here. Have Cheetah Will View, and it's Tuesday. And if it's Tuesday, that must be Library Day, and it is, uh, which is really good considering that last week we had no Library Day because it was zero at the library. So this week is the first of two bag sale weeks, and I gotta admit, I was feeling a little discouraged, but I have come to the conclusion that the lady who runs the library, her idea of good and ours is totally different. Um, she came out and said there wasn't very many on the shelf, and so you know, but you got to go in there and see for yourself. If you just take her word for it, I would probably end up not even going to the library anymore because she's pretty much doom and glooming it. But a funny thing happened on the way to the forum. Um, yeah, it turned out to be that she was wrong. Um, there was only a shelf and a half, so in that sense, she was right. But what she didn't know was what was on the shelf. It's on the shelf that matters, not the quantity, but the quality. And since bag sale is only $6 per bag, so I will show you what I got. It's gonna be fun. So pick this up. This is a little banged up, but for the price, I said, well, why not try it? It is scratched up. I don't know if it'll play. I didn't invest that much in it, so if it doesn't, but I really hope it does, because if it does, it'll be really, really fun to watch. And that is, I got Hong Kong Fooey, Hong Kong Book of Kung Fu, and this contains 31 episodes of Hong Kong Fooey, which came out in the 70s and was voiced by Scatman Crothers. Yeah, I'm a little worried. I mean, the cover is okay. It's definitely been well loved. I just hope that the scratches aren't so bad that it won't play. Well, keep your fingers crossed. Next up, factory sealed. We got a total blind buy called Moving Malcolm. Moving Malcolm. And this stars Elizabeth Berkley from Saved by the Bell and Showgirls. God, I can't get much more different from that, can you? Benjamin Ratner and John Neville. Factory sealed. Know nothing about this movie at all. Next up, another blind buy. Have no idea. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a comedy or a drama or what, but I went ahead and picked it up, and it's called The Paper Store. And this stars the only actress I knew is Penn Badgley and Richard Kind. I know Richard Kind from Spin City and from Scrubs. He's actually really good. He's actually appeared on an episode of Burn Notice, which he played more of a dramatic role, and he was actually pretty good at that. Next up, yet another blind buy. I have no idea what it was about, and that is Fever. Now, it says it's directed by Alex Winter. Now, I'm not sure if this is the Alex Winter that did Bill and Ted. I'll have to research on this. I do know that it has. Let's see when it came out here. I knew it came out here for a while ago. And this is also stars Terry Hatcher. Let's see, Terry Hatcher, David O'Hara, and Henry Thomas. I think Henry Thomas is the young boy from E.T., if I'm not mistaken. Someone will correct me on that. And it has also Terry Hatcher in it. I know. See, a lot of fodder for Dollar Theater. This is coming up for Dollar Theater. You'll be seeing some of this. Next up, again, Factory Sealed. I never saw this movie. I heard about it when it came out, but I never watched it. And I'm sure it's pretty good. It's Factory Sealed, and it's Clint Eastwood in Honky Tonk Man. A lot of people don't realize that Clint Eastwood was very much a music lover. Holy crow! He's probably got one of the biggest jazz collections this side of, you know, this side of whatever river you want to put there. I'm sure he has it. He loves jazz. He played a lot on his own music, a lot of his own music on his movies, and so yeah, if you really look into Clint Eastwood, that's one aspect of his career that is so sadly overlooked. But his love for music and playing music, and so this is a man who's trying to make it one last time. He wants to. His goal is to make it to the Grand Ole Opry and play, despite getting in the way of his own self. And his real life son, Kyle, played with him, starred in this movie with him. Like I said, I heard about the movie, never saw it. Let's see. Next up is North Country. Now, I know this movie. I've heard about this one. Never watched it, but I do know it's pretty hard hitting. Charlize Theron, Frances McDormand, Sissy Spacek, Woody Harrelson, and Sean Bean. I didn't know Sean Bean was in this. That's cool. I wonder if he dies. Does Sean Bean die in this movie? All right. Got a little animation here. Got a Super Friends movie. Super Friends: Attack of the Legion of Doom. Another DC movie. Now this is from the 70s or early 80s. Let's see. Yeah, I want to say this came out in the 70s when the Super Friends were around. So the animation itself is pretty basic, but the stories were fun, and you hear the familiar voices in it. Like Casey Kasem as Robin and Elaine Soule as Batman. So a little music. El Divo. This is like a miniature little. It's more or less like a promotional disc than anything else. It only has 5 songs on there, or 6 songs, I think. El Divo. This is one of Lorianne and our favorite musicians. These guys have beautiful voices and top notch. We had all the records, all their albums. I never saw this before, so I picked it up. Okay. Well, I got this. I got the companion piece to this a while ago, and I put it on Dollar Theater, and you guys can go check it out. And that was Shrek at Halloween. Well, today I picked up Shrek the Halls, which is the Shrek Christmas special. And someone donated this, factory seal, brand spanking new. Even has a Slippy on it. So I never saw. I think I actually saw this when it came on TV, but it was years ago, so I can't remember anything about it. But this will be coming up pretty soon. I think real soon, probably next week. So it's Shrek and Donkey and our good buddy Antonio Banderas, Puss in Boots. Pray for mercy from Puss in Boots. Now we're gonna get into some good stuff here. I'm gonna save that for a second, but that's really fun. Picked up a autobiography or biography, Andy Warhol, called Superstar, which makes sense because I like art. I'm not. I could be honest with you. I'm not the biggest Warhol fan. I really don't think what he did was really all that interesting, but that's just me. But I know a lot of people do, and so I wanted to hear a little bit more about his background. At first I thought this was an IFC film, but it's not. This came out from Center Stage, which I know nothing about. Okay. All right. Next up, pretty stoked about this one. So I found this one here too. Rodan. So I don't have very many kaiju movies, actually, believe it or not. I have the one Gamera collection I have from Bones, which I've covered a movie from it. But to find these solo like this is pretty damn rare. You don't see these out very often, and I don't know which distributor put this in, because I do. If I'm not sure if Rodan is public domain or not. Any of the Godzilla movies are public domain. I know that if they're not, I mean, I've been seeing them more on, I think maybe Shout Factory owns the rights for it. So this might be before Shout Factory got a hold of it. So I don't know what the transfer is going to be like. I don't know what the quality of the picture is going to be like. It could be really good and it could be really ugly. But we'll find out. All right. We are getting into the good stuff now. Into the good stuff. This was really fun. From Rhino Records or Rhino TV. It's Saturday morning with the Sid and Marty Kraft. Now, I have covered Land of the Lost. I covered that on Dollar Theater, and covered all 3 seasons of the Land of the Lost. Which was like I said, that show was a lot more adult than you would believe, very much so, more so than any of these guys' shows. What this is right here is the pilot episodes of the first episodes of every show they made. So this is the first episode of H&R Puffin Stuff, The Bugaloos, Lidsville, Sigmund and the Sea Monster, Land of the Lost, The Lost Saucer, and Far Out Space Nuts. So it'll be interesting. And it comes out with yeah. I don't know if it has some special features with has a Lizville commentary with George Lopez on here, plus Sid and Marty Krofft interview, and take a test, see how well you know Sid and Marty's series. This is all going to be a lot of fun right here. I know I'm a big kid at heart. What can you say? All right, so here we go. We're rolling into some fun stuff here. Super stoked to find this, and it's pretty much brand new. In fact, the package is still on it. I don't know if anybody even watched it or not, but this is super cool because back in the day, I love this series right here. This series was dope as hell, and that is Dean Martin as Matt Helm. So this is our. I'm gonna take this off. This is our answer to James Bond during the James Bond craze, the spy craze of the '60s, and so they came up with Dean Martin and a series of adventures for him, and these were a lot of fun. It's pretty silly, but a lot of fun. Are they good as James Bond? No. But like I said, they do have some hot babes in here. I want to say that Chuck Norris is actually in one of these. Chuck Norris, I think that might have been his film debut, was in one of these Matt Helm films. So all four of them, the Silencers, Murderers Row, the Ambushers, and the Wrecking Crew. And like I said before, they had at the time that these came out, they had the hottest babes for Dino, because Dino was pretty popular back then. That was cool to see right there. Now I got some more after this, but I'm going to show off the centerpiece right now. So this is the one I got really excited about more than anything else, because so you already know what it's going to be, right? Of course it is. IFC movie. This is IFC presents A Decade Under the Influence. So this is covering the movies from the 1970s. Now I've spoken about the 1970s a lot. Like this is the 1970s. There's one thing they didn't have during the 70s. That is, they didn't have any happy endings. Pretty much every movie, it seemed like in 1970 to 79, was doom and gloom. Everybody died at the end. There's no such thing as a good guy riding off into the sunset. there wasn't. Everybody bought the farm. Well, that's the good guy. Yeah, well, you know. I don't know the movies they're going to cover, though it looks like the cover of this is. I, I don't know what the cover of that movie is right there. I was going to say Peeping Tom, but I think Peeping Tom came out in the 60s, so there you go. So I'm not really sure. Um, this movie was made by Richard Gravenese and Ted Demme, whose son Jonathan Demme is still out there making films, I believe. So yeah, this is gonna be really cool right here. 3 hours long, 3 hours long. So they cover a lot of good movies in that. I can't believe I got another IFC film from the library. It delivers. All right, so I got some TV. I got some TV series. I picked up the third season of MASH. Factory Sealed. Couldn't believe this. Factory Sealed. Criminal Minds season 10. Factory Sealed. Wow, I couldn't believe that. And then here's the funny thing too. Many times I've commented when I've been out and about that I've always been looking for Dick Wolf projects. His TV series, Law and Order in the Chicago series, One Chicago and the Law and Order series. Can't find them to save my life. I think I have one Chicago Fire. Can't find, and I have three. I have three of the Law and Orders. I have the first episode, first season of SUV. That was a present from Lori. I got Criminal Intent, which I actually did find at the library, and I think I got one of the original one, the Mothership, and I can't remember where I got that. I think I got that I think I got that at Disc Replay. But as far as finding them out in the wild, yeah, it just wasn't happening till today. So I picked up Chicago PD season 8. Chicago PD season 9. And that's Factory Sealed, as is this one here. And this is Chicago PD season 10. So that pretty much just doubled what I already had of all my Dick Wolf shows. I just doubled it with that. I have 3, now I have 6. This sort of reminded me of the Blue Bloods pool that didn't happen that long ago, where I was talking about how I never see that show out there at all. Never, ever, ever have I seen it. And then our good friend John from Platex 2, he found it, and next thing you know, I'm finding it. And speaking of John and from Platex 2, your break is over. It's time for you to come back. It's time for you to come back. We need you. We miss you. Well, because you know, we miss those incredible hauls. All those bargains you get. Yeah. So that's what we got for today from the library. It was a good haul, very good haul. Of course, that means next week will be 0, most likely or not. But we'll be there. We'll be there, and hopefully we'll find some more good stuff. So let us know what you think of the haul, and drop a comment down below. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button, hit the sub button, and hit the like button, and we'll see you soon. Peace.